Guys, what does it really take to rebuild a country shattered by the war? Today, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky stood in Rome and called for something bold and historic and deeply symbolic, a Marshall Plan style rescue for Ukraine. For those who know their history, you will remember the original Marshall Plan rebuilt Europe from the ashes of World War II. Now, Zelensky says Ukraine needs the same plan, not just to fix what's been destroyed by the Russia's invasion, but to secure the future of Europe itself. So, what does this new plan look like? And who is paying for it, and how it could reshape not just the Ukraine's future, but the global economy and even the stability of Europe and Russia? So, guys, let's break it all down in this video. This week's Ukraine's recovery conference in Rome wasn't just the another diplomatic photo op. It brought together heads of the state, top CEOs, civil society leaders, and financial giants all under one roof to figure out how to turn a war zone into a thriving economy again. Zelensky and his wife, Olena Zelenska, landed in Rome to set the tone for this. Ukraine isn't asking for pity, it's asking for partnership. In his opening speech, Zelensky told the world point blank, rebuilding Ukraine is not a charity, it's an investment. Not just in Ukraine's future, but in the Europe's security and the world economic resilience. So, guys, why the Marshall Plan comparison? After the World War II, the United States also poured billions of dollars into devastated European nations to help them rebuild the industries, infrastructure, and democratic institutions. It wasn't just a generosity, it was a strategy. A stable, prosperous Europe meant a buffer against the Soviet expansion, and it also sparked decades of economic growth that benefited the entire West. Zelensky wants the same logic to apply today. He made it clear rebuilding Ukraine is not just about our country, it's also about your countries, your companies, your technology, and your jobs. In other words, rebuilding Ukraine could mean new contracts for the European and American companies, that is in energy, construction, transport, digital infrastructure. It could create thousands of jobs, fuel innovation, and also strengthen supply chains that stretch far beyond Kiev. But this plan is about more than the bricks and steel. It's also about the justice and politics. Zelensky openly called for the true partners, that is, countries and companies that haven't helped Russia prolong the war. He wants money, technology, and expertise, but only from those willing to take a side. There is also a bold financial twist. Zelensky wants to tap into roughly $300 billion in Russian assets that Western nations have frozen since the invasion. Right now, much of that money sits idle in Western banks. Ukraine argues why not use it to fix what Russia broke? Of course, that's legally tricky. Some countries worry about setting a precedent for seizing sovereign wealth, but the pressure is also growing. Many European leaders quietly agree. It's only fair that Russia's money rebuilds the bridges, hospitals, and homes its missiles have destroyed in Ukraine. Speaking of missiles, on the very day Zelensky spoke in Rome, Russia unleashed nearly 400 drones and 18 missiles in Kiev and other cities. The result of this, that people were killed, dozens injured, another brutal reminder that Ukraine's fight is far from over. That's why Zelensky also pushed for far more investment in Ukraine defenses, that is missiles, drones and air defense system to protect what they rebuild. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni echoed Zelensky's vision. She told the conference that Europe must mobilize private capital too, the entrepreneurial spirit of companies ready to take risks and see the long term opportunity in Ukraine's recovery. She pointed to Italy's own post World War II economic miracle and said Ukraine could write a similar success story if the world steps up now. So far, the conference has produced concrete results over 10 billion euros in new commitments from the governments and private companies. It's a start, but nowhere near the hundreds of billions of Ukraine will need in the long run. Also, guys, this isn't just about the money, it's about the rebuilding trust in Ukraine's institutions, its reforms, its anti corruption measures. Investors need to believe that their dollars, euros, or yen won't disappear into shady deals. Zelensky knows this too. That's why he is pushing parallel reforms to show Ukraine is ready for deeper European integration and stronger ties with the Western economies. But guys, there is also a harsh reality. None of this happens overnight. Ukraine is still under daily attack. Cities that get rebuilt today could be bombed again tomorrow. That means the recovery plan depends not just on money and goodwill, but on the lasting security guarantees that Russia won't simply destroy while the world rebuilds. So, guys, can the world deliver a Marshall Plan for Ukraine and make it stick? Or will the promises of Rome fade as new crises steal the spotlight? One thing is certain, what happens in Ukraine doesn't stay in Ukraine. Every dollar spent rebuilding roads and homes, there is an investment in Europe's peace, the global economic stability, and the idea that might doesn't always make right. So, guys, what do you think on this? Should frozen Russia assets fund Ukraine's recovery? And will private investors really take the leap? Or is this too risky while the war still rages? Drop your thoughts below. I would love to hear your take. And if you found this breakdown valuable, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more big picture stories that matter, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.